Alrighty, welcome back to FPL Roulette. I'm going to have to remember the name then. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time.
Have you summered well? Been away, as you can tell from his
Yeah,
tan.
I did the Club World Cup fantasy, so, just to keep myself a bit of a pre-season for this.
Oh yeah, sharpen up. What'd you finish overall last year?
89k.
That's alright, top 100k.
Yeah, we'll
decent.
take it. Yourself? You wanted me to ask you that, didn't you?
Yeah, 40k, which was a career high for me. But I think my take on last year was being plugged into it and just having this podcast and talking about the players. It made decisions easier, and I wasn't so emotive. And I think like sometimes when I've been making transfers, I've been like, oh, I just need to get this player out and get anyone in, whereas I was a bit more strategic. But as they say, history's history.
On touching on that though, I think I agree with you because it's something like I only took like -8 all season or something like that.
It was huge. Like, I think I was double or triple that.
Don't get me wrong, the minuses can help, but I just felt like I'd rather ride it out. It had to be very extreme and very unlucky with injuries for me to take the minus. But yeah,
true. But I did enjoy last year a great deal, and
very
obviously
good.
doing this pod is part and parcel of that enjoyment. But I think we were gonna do this earlier, weren't we? But just talking the amount of drafts we've had, the amount of different players that have been in and out of our team, the closer to the deadline we do it would probably be a truer reflection.
100%. Like my team, I don't think one player survived for my first draft. So, like if I was going to do a video then,
James Madsen didn't make it.
No,
Right. So what we'll do then is we'll go from the top. And do you want to go? We'll go with
your keepers, my keepers, defence, and then we'll bounce off each other.
Lovely. Okay. Right. Where are you putting your money? With your keeper?
I think we can both agree that the 4 million in Dubravka is the bench option.
Yeah.
Just sit there when we don't need him. And then I've got set and forgetting Raya. But with the opening I wanted to throw this idea out there with you. With the opening fixtures for Arsenal, they got one admittedly one good game, and the second is Leeds at home. That's great for a Raya. But apart from that, it's very tough games, and I'm thinking, I think with all the chips, obviously the chip strategy, I think an early wild card will be the play. Mm-hmm. So do I not go Raya? Because Raya's my set and forget for the year, but do I attack an early fixture with like a Sells or someone, wild card, and then I'll have Raya in? That could be my that could be my play.
Yeah. So do you spend the extra cash?
Because I'm not looking I'm not looking long term. I'm looking like basically first 4 weeks with this chip strategy.
Yeah, and I like looking at the keepers as well. There's no one who screams like ultimate value to me.
No,
I think like last year we spoke about like being Nottingham Forest blind, and Sells sort of crept into my plans way later than it should have, if at all actually, because I think both you and I were stuck with Verbruggen and Fabianski for ages.
But that's why I wanted to avoid this season.
Exactly.
Like, I think Dubravka's pushed me into the set and forget. Yeah. Because I don't want to be flipping, like every week you'd have pick out your 4.5s and you'd be like, oh, they've got a great fixture, and it turns out the other guy who's playing Chelsea away has kept a clean sheet and saved a penalty.
Yeah, I get it. I think the biggest learning that I had is that your points at keeper matter, and the bits that you think that don't matter ultimately do in the long run, and having options you can play on your bench is huge. And there were so many game weeks that I limped into, and I was like, oh, Fabianski's in goals, and just whatever happened. It was
Fabianski but broken.
And it was horrible to get out because I had to wreck my sort of template, if you like, and to get it. So you're going for Raya, yeah? Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've probably got on the other side of the coin in terms of not other side of the coin, other side of London, and I've got my Sanchez.
Is that his middle name?
What? Sorry, he's looking at my...
sorry.
So his full name is Robert Lynch Sanchez.
Sorry for any Lynches out there.
Yeah, sorry any Lynchies.
Carry on.
I've just gone with them because I think Chelsea will improve this season. There's a few red flags for me in terms of that centre-half position, but I just...
Yeah, with a Colwell.
Yeah, but they've had some good pre-season fixtures. They look quite strong.
Good opening fixtures as well.
Exactly, and I'm just thinking if I can target an an early lead with, like, if I'm looking at, I don't know, over the next 4 weeks, 15 plus from a keeper, happy days.
Yeah.
I don't ever sort of pick a keeper and just go, I need a clean sheet every week is on saves and stuff, and Sanchez seems to be into the action. So that's where I'm going. I know there's a few other camps with keepers, like Sells is at a similar price point, but I just don't trust Nottingham Forest, if I'm honest. I don't think the level of Forest compared to Chelsea are comparable.
I think they'll have a drop off this season, and like, although I think the Forest fixtures are the best of everyone, but like, yeah, I'm not sold on Forest. That's why like, spoiler, like, I've got a Forest defender in. That's why I didn't want to go Sells and goals to have the double up.
Yeah, and similar with me, but the different side. And I think, like, when I look around that sort of price point, you've gone Raya, which is obviously another 0.5 million again at 5.5, and I've probably gone one down trying to milk the 0.5 into something else.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the 5 million keepers, because who's the 5 million keeper with the best things? It probably is Sanchez.
Yeah.
But then with my team, I've got over two out Chelsea, and I don't want to triple up on Chelsea. Like, it's good at, like, they're an up and coming team, they are good, but I don't want to triple up on it.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like it kills if you have a bad week.
If you have a bad game week, it ripples through your team. And the biggest thing that I noticed as well, Jordan Pickford at 5.5, like one of the most expensive keepers.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't do it because Everton are shite.
Yeah.
And that is like a massive thing. Right, anyway, we've done enough keepers. Do you want to move on to defenders?
Yes, so I did change some yesterday.
Yeah, you do two and I'll do two, just to keep it interesting.
So I've gone with Murillo as the Forest's centre-back. But I think we should touch on the DEFCON points.
Yes,
so
very true.
My two that I've got in that I'm targeting them DEFCON, so I've got Tarkowski and Murillo.
Yeah.
Mainly, right, I think I read that Tarkowski would have had an extra 46 points from DEFCON, right?
Yeah.
Which, that if you quit over a season, a defender, that's 15 assists. If a defender got 15 assists in a season, he'd be in everybody's team.
Yeah.
So why would we not get Tarkowski's getting 46 more points than he would have without him?
And interestingly, I think it was in 17 games he had 4+ points, if it was based on last season, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think, I'll just go exactly the same on that. I've gone for Nathan Collins as well, just purely because he played all of the minutes for Brentford. I think he played the most minutes in the Premier League last year.
As well.
Yeah, captain. And Brentford, as much as they've lost in attack, I don't think they've lost that much in defence. Norgard, maybe.
I don't think they could lose much, to be honest, because they weren't keeping many clean sheets last season.
But those points and those clearances and stuff, I think are going to be gold dust. And if you've gone. Did you just say you're not a Forest defender? Yeah.
Murillo,
yeah. Well, I've gone Nico Williams.
So you're saving there on the. What is Nico Williams' DEFCON from? Like, do we know the difference between him and Murillo?
Well, no. So Murillo would have had 17 games with a plus 4.
Right.
And Nico would have been 16 games with a plus 4. So there's very minimal difference between them. My only train of thought with Nico Williams is naturally left backs are more attacking, so open play assists and stuff. If you're saying that's just the DEFCON assist, if you like, or DEFCON points, could he have a game where he gets a DEFCON points and gets an assist? That's a higher ceiling for me.
Yeah.
And then so that's my logic
as well.
Exactly. That's an 11 pointer before you've done anything with a clean sheet. So what about your next one?
I've gone for De Kuyper, Brighton at 4.5, and Juve of West Ham at 4.5. The Juve one, I like the opening fixture away at Sunderland. I think West Ham are going to go there and win.
I think Sunderland, I'll put it out here now, I think you may as well just be like, thanks for being in the Premier League. Ta-ra.
Well, they've signed every African player under the sun and in an AFCON season.
Yeah.
So January, I don't know their fixtures in January, but
I just think it's so hard for a team to come up and gel straight away. I think, who was it? Was it Fulham? The one season where they spent like 110 mil? Mitrovic, and they went straight back down.
Yeah. I mean, Ipswich last year spent 150.
Yeah, like exactly. And Christ, I watched them on telly yesterday. Wow,
Yeah.
they are absolutely appalling.
But even though, like, obviously a Leeds fan, I don't see any of the three staying up.
Yeah, it's such a.
There's such a big gap. Like, if you've got the closest three to the relegation were, I think it was Wolves, Spurs, and Man U. Like, how are you closing that gap?
Yeah.
Like, Man U have just signed 3 quality strikers.
Yeah. Also in for Labour from.
Yeah.
Brighton.
Spurs aren't going to be as bad. Like, I think Wolves have got a really good manager. I just don't see how we close that gap. The thing I'm clinging on to is Brentford maybe losing the manager, losing Mbeumo, Bournemouth losing the whole defence. I don't know. Like, I just don't see how.
Bournemouth is a really good point, actually, because as much as we love Evan Nielsen, you've got to have a look behind him and what's happening there. You can't use Howson and Zabani and expect to, hit the levels that he did.
Yeah.
And again, with Kirkes going to Liverpool, just makes me wonder, how does that look now? Okay, so I've gone my other. Well, I've said 2. So Collins and Williams. My other. Do you want to do?
Yeah, keep him to last. Okay. I want to talk about why I haven't got that.
Okay, so I've gone for Chris Richards, Palace.
Yeah.
Again, Defcon came into it. I think Palace did become okay defensively. There's 0.5 between him and Lacroix, whatever his name is. And they look a little bit better. But
is the Gahey?
Yeah. I'm thinking if Gahey goes, there's a bit of a problem, but there's also an opportunity. And then the second bit of that is I don't mind a 4.5 million player being in my starting 11 or on my bench.
Yeah.
If I overcommit and I go into the realms of 5.5, 6,
you want to be starting them. Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah. Like you said that in previous years with Trent. Because it had a bad fixture, but
and you have to back.
You had to back him,
because they're your most, their most expensive asset. So you're leaving 5 million on the bench if you're not playing them, irrespective of fixture.
Yeah.
A 4.5 is more of a gamble than what should be a shoe-in with a more expensive player. And again, we can see each other's teams side by side. Ours are just personnel. So whereas you've probably gone centre half Murillo for Forest, I've gone centre half with Van de Ven for Tottenham.
Oh, of course,
trying to attack that fixture early doors. But then again, he's got Man City in the second game, so it's like if he goes onto the bench and someone else comes in, I'm not too asked. So what's your? Do you want to talk about?
The last one was that Pedro Porro. So I have Pedro Porro, you have Van de Ven.
I
need to look at. Well, the point. I think Van de Ven. I've seen him in a lot of teams because he was injured for so much of last season that you don't know if he was going to be good for the DEFCON, but he strikes me as a player with recovery tackles and stuff like that he would be good for him. So whereas I'm worried, is Porro going to be good for DEFCON? Like, I need to look into that more, I think, because for $1 million more.
He's got to prove his worth, hasn't he?
But then on the flip side, with Maddison now being out, is Porro on corners? Is Porro taking the set pieces? I like. That was purely
streaky as well.
Yeah.
So he's got. I think last year he had a couple of games where he got.
You got that block of 4 where he just goes like.
And then he come off the bench, didn't he? And got an assist straight away. So
that was purely attacking that first fixture. Like I said, I'm going to be playing a early wild card. I think. I know I don't want to lock it in, but I just think attack early doors and see where we go from there.
True. Okay, so last defender's done. I think we've got a.
Because we need to talk about him.
Yeah, last defender. I think, I don't know if this is a bit of Liverpool bias creeping in, but I think this guy could go nuclear.
Yeah.
And it's Frimpong from Liverpool.
We've just watched the Community Shield as well.
Yeah. Now, I know Liverpool, they didn't win it, whatever. But if you can see this guy underlapping and overlapping, I think that's going to be a huge problem. I was initially on the fence before he signed of, well, Bradley's good enough. But I think Bradley's showing this sort of little bit of injury-prone nature, which means that he's not as nailed on as I thought. No. And he can be a good understudy to Frimpong. And there's so many games he'll get like 25 a year. So Frimpong, I think like they could even deploy him as like a right winger, and I'd be getting that out of position bonus as well.
So
Come on,
I am. I need to touch on it. So, not to jumping ahead, but with that, do you think that stifles Mohamed Salah?
Well, no. So, and the reason I don't is because I think Liverpool will quickly work out, or Salah will work out, given his age, given whatever. He isn't going
because he's quite similar to Trent in the way he attacks, isn't it? Like
he is, but he puts up his crossing and stuff. He hits the ball far earlier, but he's electric in terms of like when Salah has the ball, he's available for an overlap. What I think will happen is Salah will find an even more advanced position when Frimpong says, I'm going to operate in the right wing or the right.
You think he'll come more central?
Yeah. So I think Salah will push in, and then everyone will sort of be in better positions and. You just know what Salah's like.
And the thing is, it is at this point, it is a guess.
Yeah,
like we've got a bit of a sample off the Community Shield, but
I think people are writing Salah off, which is great.
Because
of the Community Shield. So if anything, I read a stat earlier, João Pedro is more owned than Mo Salah.
Baffling.
Yeah, which is like João Pedro, no disrespect to him, has had a great pre-season and is looking like, he's got flickers of the real deal, but like, you're talking about a guy who finished like
some
top,
respect on the
I know. Top goal scorer, top assister, and
But how many times last year would Salah be in? He's always been in game terms. He's always sometimes had a shocker, right? And then it's 80 minutes and he's got a brace.
Yeah.
How many times has that happened? Yeah. So don't be so. And there's a stat that he's scored on every opening day fixture since he's joined the Premier League for Liverpool.
Exactly. So it's Bournemouth at home.
We've just talked about the defensive.
Exactly.
But this Frimpong. So I've had Frimpong. I had Van Dijk in all my drafts.
Yeah.
He was nailed on, right?
And then he watched him.
And I watched the Community Shield. And then I watched that Community Shield and I thought, this Frimpong. Because it was the toss-up of, so Van Dijk.
6 million as well, yeah?
Yeah, both 6 million. So if I give you the option, with Van Dijk and Frimpong, the upside of Van Dijk was the DEFCON. Yeah. And like I said, it's basically a DEFCON. It's one less than an assist, in it. 1 point less than an assist if you thing it. And then you've still got that attacking power from the corners. But he's with Van Dijk. He'll play 90 minutes as well.
Yeah. Whereas
like Frimpong, could he play with that Bradley? Could he play that? Yeah. No, but in the flip side, it could work out because could he play the 60 minutes? Get his clean sheet locked in. Bradley then come on.
Who did you used to have last year that always got subbed around like 70 minutes? You'd be like,
Timber maybe or something.
I picked that one as well.
Do you know? So I was like weighing up the options, and I decided to go with none because of the.
Brilliant. So you've just weighed about that, but you just got with neither.
Yeah, no, but in the terms of going back to that Raya situation where I said I'm basically contradicting myself because I've got him as set and forget for the season.
Yes.
But I'm planning an early wildcard. Because I'm planning the early wildcard, I'm not using any Liverpool because they got tough fixtures in 2 and 3. So I was going to wait till 4, do the wildcard, get the Frimpong or have more information available to me.
Yeah, so you're
and just miss out the Bournemouth game, hopefully.
Yeah, so there's devil's advocates everywhere, I suppose.
Because, do you want,
if you're choosing
do you want a Liverpool triple up? With Newcastle and Arsenal. That's the really tough fixture. Yeah. Both of them.
I think the Newcastle one is huge.
Because it's at St James's Park as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think the Newcastle one is huge because of if Isaac signs.
He's got it now, hasn't he?
But I put my house on Liverpool showing up to that game and Isaac being, this is the game I arrive. Do you know what I mean? No, but do you know what I mean? They'll play him. Of course they will. The guy is like...
He hasn't had a pre-season though. He's going to be...
Well, but there's no way he doesn't train at a stupidly high level and all that.
He's training real sausage.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll go back on that.
But that's that was my thing with the Liverpool. Do you get that, Lou?
Yeah. That's a fair point, and I think if you take sides away in terms of just because they're Liverpool players and look to fixtures, if you had to rate Liverpool's fixture difficulty, probably be towards the harder end of the scale than easier.
Also, a small sample size, but that Community Shield, it leaves you with how attacking Frimpong is. It leaves you suspected that it's going to leave you vulnerable at the back. And Bournemouth's attack, they can counter.
That's the only thing they got left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
they'd have,
so,
like Tavernier, would it be? No, so they'd have
but Cliver, Semenyo,
Clive, is he fit? That's another. Yeah.
Evan Nielsen,
Built. Yeah.
Otara if he's not going Brentford.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
think that heard that here first. I think that's a very good pickup if he goes to Brentford.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's defence over with. Take
Yeah.
2. Midfield. Hit me with it.
Should we start with the premiums and then make our way down the pecking order? So, my most expensive one in there is Cole Palmer.
Oh, okay.
And
Let's
I'm
go.
shocked that he's not in your team.
Oh, he's been in an iteration of it. But I think, are we pinning our hopes on someone who did exactly the same last year and then it sort of didn't go to plan and it was like, oh, this is a 10.5 million problem. And if he go, and we know how streaky he is.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I mean. I think for me, there's a certain amount of players in this game that can go nuclear in one game.
he is. He's probably.
And he is.
I think he's probably top in terms of when he goes, he goes. Whereas, yeah.
So, and with the Saka's, like the Arsenal's fixtures, I don't want Saka at 10 million. So my money, don't need Saka at 10 million. I don't want to drop down.
I reckon Saka's dropped off everyone's radar, and calling out all the Arsenal fans now, lots of people have said, oh, you know, is this, that, and whatever, and Mo Salah isn't going to do well in the system. What's happening with Saka? Like, do you know what I mean? It's a similar sort of thing of like, you know, how is he going to play? How is he going to fit into it? Yeah, the injuries, all of that sort of stuff.
But yeah, I thought I don't need. There's no one else around that price point I want. Bruno maybe, but it's like with that early fixture, I'm like, no, I'm not particularly. I can get him in later if I need to.
So we're targeting for Crystal Palace, West Ham, and Fulham. I think their first 3 are. Let me have a look. And Fulham.
That's 3 great fixtures.
So that's not too bad. I understand it. I don't think it's a bad pick.
Yeah.
I think this is where our templates differ. So I've gone to enable. It's no secret. So I got Mo Salah in there for the reasons we've mentioned earlier. I just think that it's weird to start a season thinking Mo Salah could be a bit of a differential. Like, do you know what I mean?
Wild.
And I think when I look at ownership, it's a 53%. And then when I look at ownership of João Pedro, it's 54%.
See, don't you see, like, you know that Salah, as good as Salah is, and we all know he's one of the best FPL assets to ever grace the game. Yeah. Are you tempted to drop down to a verse and spread 6 million across your team?
Tell me who else you've got in midfield. There's no secrets here.
Verts.
Yeah. But doing my research on Verts is his touches per game are above the equivalent touches per game that Messi used to have at like Barcelona. So he's heavily involved, but his output is significantly less.
So your assist is the assistant and stuff like that, right?
So for me, it's like people will judge him on his output, and sure, for that amount of money they should, but I think what he brings to the team in terms of taking the ball in a tight situation and getting it out there, and you saw the Ekatike goal on the weekend, was, you know, that is what we've bought him for, as opposed to like scoring 20 goals a year and assisting 20 goals a year. I don't think that's the player we're going to get. I think what we're going to get is someone who is going to be a step ahead of everyone and may not be in such an attacking position, but hugely influential to how we play. So I don't disbelieve that he couldn't go nuclear.
No, of course,
because he did get an assist Saturday. But
all right. What about Gakpo then? Save yourself 7 million.
Yeah. So Gakpo's up. But basically,
has it tempted you to spread that money across the team, or have you always been set on having Salah?
I think I've been set on having Salah, and this may be like a bias thing, but I think I'll double down when people maybe.
I like it. I stuck with Haaland for about 10 weeks longer than I should have last year. So you do you. And I still got 89k in the world. So
exactly. And I think when I look at my team structure, I like having like almost like a spine of people. Like I've got a premium defender, I've got a premium midfielder, and I've got a premium attacker. So we've got Salah and Wirtz. Obviously, there's difference, and I think
there's, I suppose, like, I like the structure of that, because then you're not thinking out of anywhere. You can move to wherever you want. From Salah, you can get to anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas like now, if I want to get up to Salah, I'm making multiple transfers.
You're going to wait for a wild card.
Yes.
Okay, so my next player, I've gone for Marmoush.
Yeah.
I think that position change, last year was it? For Marmoush was
It was
midfielder.
forward, wasn't he? Last year, 7 million forward.
Exactly. Him going into midfield, and with Grealish leaving and Savinho potentially leaving.
Oh, is this Savinho on the chopping block? Is
he?
I liked him as a player.
I think there's just bags of opportunity, and he's dangerous from wherever he is. We saw the goal he scored at the end of the year.
He's just that pep roulette. I just don't trust him.
Exactly. But I thought he's been a marquee signing from in January. They obviously is a statement of intent of how they want to move forward.
Yeah. And he doesn't score away from home.
Well, but this is subject to change. Like we're talking about these players if they're staying.
No, yeah. So is he? He's not a lock like Salah is a lock.
I don't know. No, I feel I could wake up Friday morning and be like, I hate
you
this.
Want Dan James?
Yeah. No, I'm not even going to ruin it.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Marmoush. You've got a City player as well.
Yes.
And now I'm going to get on the offensive for why you've got it.
Okay, you can.
Okay.
3 million cheaper than Marmoush.
Here we go.
Reinders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tiani Reinders.
Yeah. So
is that his name, Tiani?
Do you want to know why he's in my team? Well, I suppose everyone must know why he's in my team.
Is it the 2 goals he scored in that pre-season fixture?
It's against a tough team in Palermo as well.
God.
No. So, yes, that has affected it, the pre-season game. But when I did dive into it a little bit deeper, he did have good like the heat map of where he was playing was very advanced. For AC Milan, he had good stats for midfield. I'm sure it was like, correct, you're going to have to look it up for me actually. I'm sure it was like 7 goals, 10 assists for Milan in the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
Go on Milan up there.
Yeah. 10 goals, 4 assists.
That's a decent return for that's one every 14, whatever.
Yeah.
3 games, yeah.
Maths.
It's not, I don't know if it's right. The other thing, the Rodri injury, God knows, like I said, pet roulette, God knows how it's going to happen. And that's what you play. I'd rather play pet roulette with 5.5 than 8.5. Mm-hmm. And I think that Gonzalez, is it that Gonzalez, the centre mid, the one the bot, Nico Gonzalez? I think he'll be the deep lighter, and I think you'll see this guy, Reinders, be the kind of Gundogan one, where he makes them late runs into the box. And if I get a couple of returns out of him for the first couple, I like to have one punt in there, and he
is, and I don't mean this like disrespectfully.
If you're going to take a punt though, 5.5 mil, I mean, come on, for a City asset that could play like if he gets benched, I'm not really.
Yeah, we call it like what would we call it in like NFL, like a streamer. Like we get him in for a week. If he goes nuclear, we're like cheering him on from the sidelines. Yeah. Similar to Daniel Munoz for us last year, we were like just happy he's in the building.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see it, but I do think there's a bit of recency with they're going, he's got 2 in our preseason.
100%. Yeah.
Like he could, and I tried to sort of.
Well, that's what brought him to my attention, and obviously then because you're like, you're trying to make arguments. I think I'm trying to make cases for him. Mm-hmm. And I've looked, and I think the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah, no, I think that's a totally fair, like sort of take on things. My next player, again, a bit of, I think this is me where I get sort of challenged as a manager because I brought in a certain Donyell Marlon last year.
Oh, I thought you were going to go to the other guy.
Oh, no. And he did well, even when he came off the bench.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they've obviously haven't got like that second striker with Watkins, but also now I'm seeing that Ramsey is linked with a move away
to Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. Could this be the chance for Marlon to play on that flank because he's absolutely rapid, and he just seems to be in and around the box and get returns.
Good pre-season.
Yeah, exactly. Got a couple of goals in pre-season.
Was it last year? What was it when you? Was it your free hit team or something you punted on him? Or was it last game week of the season? It's game week you took a punt on him. Was it against Southampton maybe?
Yeah, and he returned for me, but it was like he looked as if he could have got 4.
Yeah.
And he's very good. And I think we all say like this is like a massive like FPL term, but do you know that like eye test?
Yeah.
He is someone on there. They like I had a similar feeling to when Rafinha was at thing, when Riyad Mahrez was at Leicester early doors. That like something could happen when.
Is he a winger then, or
well, he's not, but because he's got such electric pace. They just play him. Yeah. It happens to the best of them. I've never been in that thing. So, that's my Marlon sort of thing. And I think...
just to add on, I've got him as well.
Oh, you've got him on the bench. Oh, there we are then.
He won't be on... well, it might be a bench boost.
But he's 5.5, so I feel like he's that mid-price range. And, just to give context to the other, Salah's most expensive player in the game. I've got Marmoush, who's 8.5. And then I've got Marlon, which is a 5.5, and then the rest are the same. And I think, have we got... No, we haven't. But I'm actually surprised you haven't got him. Elliot Anderson, because this is the one that I've put in. And again, I think I've been led by the FPL community, should we say. DEFCON points. He would have had, I think, in the last 24 matches, he would have had 18 returns.
Which is the assist thing.
And he also had assists and whatever. So he's gone in there, but he is as soon as I put him in, I can get him out and I can escape to someone else.
I think I've been... Because we don't know how we do with the stats, like how it would have worked last year, but it could be completely different this year. Like, if people look back to DEFCON of previous years.
Yeah.
So I think because I was... concentrated so much on DEFCON with the defenders in the Tarkowski and Marilla. I thought in midfield I'm going to be a bit more free and pick a Man City attacker instead of a Forest centre mid.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Who else you got?
And then
talk about your last midfielder, mate. Go on.
Do you want to get your last midfielder? Okay. You get your last midfielder.
So I've gone for Dewsbury Hall at Everton.
Yeah.
Now, this is stats-led, and I do think when he was at Leicester, he was very good, particularly in that season in the Championship, which I know is not hugely comparable, but he will be on everything for them.
And I think the signing of Grealish
boosts
and Dye being there, I think it just helped, with a solid base in defence, it just allows them to... I think that's a 5 million. That's what they're the gems you want to look for. Is that we haven't got him, but say that Mark Gui who was at Chelsea, 4.5 million because they think he's going to be at Chelsea, and then he gets a transfer to Sunderland, might be their star striker.
God, I did that with Broha a couple of years ago. Didn't go well, but
but that has potential to go very well for you.
Yeah, but this is you could ask me 3 weeks into the season then. And I probably would have made my mind up on him of he could be last year's Morgan Rogers sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's going to be someone like that in their midfield and defence that comes, and it's just about jumping on. Hopefully you have them, or you jump on them early.
Yeah. It's about we always say, you got to hop on the train and you've got to do it early, because if you do it late, then
it was like that Palmer year where he was 5.5, and I had him from that start, but. Then people jumped on 7 million, and it's well, you've missed the boat now. Everyone's got him.
And good old Chris Wood as well.
Yeah,
that was another train. Okay, last midfielder, because I think this one, really needs a bit of an intro, doesn't it?
Should we see what's his percentage? Right. So obviously we've got through the defence, got through the keeper, got through the defence, got through all the midfield. I'm obviously going to have a Leeds player in here somewhere.
He's allowed
to only have one. I think that's very... And a 5 million midfielder at that, I think is very good. 0.3% owned. Anton Stach. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Yes.
This bloke...
His goal. Please don't mention his goal and say it was a
So I was in Dublin on the weekend, and he scored an absolute brilliant goal. Ran the show against AC Milan's seconds team. So this guy, I generally think... I'm going to throw it out there. Hot take. This guy gets 10 Premier League goals this season.
That is the Leeds blindness. No, it's just not. Coming straight to the forefront. 10 Premier League
goals. He's 6'4".
Yeah.
This is how good a footballer he is. He's 6'4" and he takes corners.
Yeah.
That's right. This guy is the next Lampard. the way he moves, the way he arrives in the box late. I've seen 2 pre-season games, and I'm telling you, he's going to the top.
He's sold.
For 5 million, as the last midfielder, my one Leeds pick. So spoiler, I haven't got Joe Pro up top.
Yeah.
We look toothless in attack, but this guy looks great.
And set pieces is huge now.
Yeah, and the way he plays, he was breaking up the play. I think he was actually, that AC Milan game, read a stat, he was one, I know it doesn't mean anything because he hadn't got there. He had 9 out of the 10 to get there.
Fair.
With a goal on
for
top.
the DEFCON.
For the DEFCON, he was 1 away.
Yeah.
No,
I think...
Great opening fixture.
Yeah.
We talked about Everton's good defence, but Ellen Road, under the lights, is a different place.
Then Arsenal, Newcastle. Unbelievable.
That's when you bench him.
Yeah.
I might not bench him against Arsenal, though, you know.
Fair. Streaky
They're not
player.
great from set pieces, are they? We can score from them.
Yeah.
I would put a load of giants, so when he's crossing them in...
Yeah. Yeah. That, I can't... It's,
the logic's
the
there.
steal of the century,
I don't think
really,
that's it.
How you haven't got him is... wanted the viewers to...
0.3% of... How many's in the game? The whole game?
Just lots.
Lots.
Yeah, 11
There's
mil.
a couple of Ks in there that have got him.
Yeah.
They're all Leeds fans.
Yeah. They're all in jobs like that.
The 50,000 Leeds fans that went to Dublin have got him in.
Yeah, true.
Right, there we are.
Right, midfield done. And lastly, to finish us off, strikers. I think...
Let's get him out of the way. I
Okay.
need to discuss him.
Okay.
Because
Joseph Pedro.
yes. So, if there was better options around that price point, and I say better options because I've been on Solanke for a long time.
9 Premier League goals in a year, though. I think that ship has sailed on
Yeah.
Solanke, personally.
Right, but I've seen no minute. Everyone's getting blind by the Burnley fixture, but I've seen no minutes in pre-season from him. He's been out injured. They're going to play is it tonight or tomorrow night in the Super Cup?
Yeah.
We might get some information then. But there's no one around João Pedro's price point that I want as a striker. And I feel like because I hated doing it, but because of his ownership, I feel like I have to have him because I'm going to be at a disadvantage if he gets a return and I don't have him. But he had 5 goals from open play for Brighton. The rest of them were penalties last year. He's not going to be on penalties this year.
Yeah, it's called Palmer.
I don't think everyone's this pre-season and everyone's like new shiny toy. This bloke.
So he's in your team, but you're saying like
I
you
really don't
believe-
want it. No, I
Okay.
don't want.
So
do you see
others
my
are
point?
right, yeah.
Like, can you put some pros? Sat me with some pros about him.
I think in a better team.
And Delap, sorry.
Yeah, but I don't think Delap. I think Delap is like a bit of a sobering moment for him, where he's gone as the main man, hasn't he? Really.
Yeah.
And then they've signed him. They're keeping of Nicholas Jackson. I don't think he's gone anywhere, is he?
No.
He's just been injured and he's banned for the first couple.
Yeah. When's he not? He loves the red card.
But he makes it into the team, and it's purely for me is some of the goals he scored in pre-season. He looks fluid as a striker, and he knows where the back of the net is. And I get there is probably a bit of a recency bias because he's scored in the Super Cup final. He scored in the Super Cup final. What's it
No, it was
called?
the World Club. The Club World
whatever.
Cup. The Club World Cup where none of the best teams got invited.
Yeah, exactly. That and the people around him, and I just think Chelsea will get better this year. Is probably why I lean more towards him than away from him. I think they've got a more established midfield. I think Palmer has got the ability to do well. There's less doubt of Cucurella has gone from being like an outcast to like, why does anyone pick him, to now being like
6 million, the most
Yeah.
expensive defender.
yeah. So it shows that.
Well, we were on him though last year.
Oh, well,
I
you
was.
were, yeah.
But
I
so with the João Pedro then,
Mhm.
if Delap does come into the side and goes into the striker, do you think João Pedro just gets dropped back into midfield, or do you think he gets tucked?
It'd be one to monitor.
Because he strikes me as a 55, 60 minute player screaming at us.
Yeah, like an Nkunku.
Yeah.
Mark II.
And Nkunku 2.0.
Yeah.
Calling it now. That's a hot take.
Do you know? I think he could switch.
Oh, yes.
And we haven't. We've done our boy a bit of a disservice here.
Give him the keys to the city.
The old JPM.
What are their fixtures like early doors? I haven't looked too much in depth.
Palace are Chelsea, Forest, Villa.
I don't. But the 2 home there, Forest and Sunderland. I tell you what.
Yeah.
And Villa's defence are great.
I think the JPM.
And they scored 2 against Liverpool. They could score against anyone. I like that Palace attack. I had Sarr in for a little while.
Yes, Sarr. I think
6.5.
honourable mention.
Yeah.
Looks really good. So we've both got Pedro, and I think I may be a bit like, I've seen so much with him in. If I went without it, I'd feel a bit like, oh, but I need to do my research now to like back because I'm fine not having him.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, Joe Pedro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be fine not having him, but I haven't done enough research yet to be like, this is why I'm not having him.
See, I should be more fine not having him because I got Palmer.
Yeah.
You haven't got Palmer, so you'd be going with no Chelsea attack.
But I think you'd have double bubble then with Palmer. That gets the Pedro a spicier pick for you, I reckon.
Oh, really?
Because Palmer's got the assist potential, hasn't he?
But I have just seen, sorry, out of the corner of my eye, I didn't realise he got into the game yet. Sesko at 7.5. Is he?
No, he just doesn't. No. So this is another tip for, I think, maybe not tip for people, but like how I approach the game. If it's shiny and new and you want it a game week 1 and think it's going to rocket off this earth, probably ain't.
Who was it last year?
If it looks like dog shit, smells like dog shit. Do you know what probably is, right?
Yeah. He didn't really light up the...
No, but I'm not saying he's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But I always say...
You'd rather go for an established like Evan Nielsen with 0.5 lower or a Wood.
And I'm always happy to be burned for a game week.
Yeah.
Whereas some people are sort of would burn money to chase the like informed player. And I think lots of people did it with Wissa last year. Will like have to get him in on all costs. But at the end of the day, he was a 6.5 million player.
Yeah.
Out of 4 game weeks, he's probably going to return in 2.
So would you, here's a question then. If Sesko looked really good against Arsenal, got a goal, would you bring him in? And you're happy with the rest, how your SC team performed, would you bring him in for João Pedro if João Pedro blanked?
Depends on the analysis of that game, because they've signed Mbuemo, they've got Mateus Cunha. That's 3 mouths to feed.
Yeah.
If anyone's got...
I think that dampers Fernandes as well. That brings him down into the next to Casemiro rather than up that field.
But this is my thing, is how is that game going to be played? Are they going to play off Sesko so they can play Mbuemo high and Cunha high? Or are they going to play him as this focal point where everything needs to gear towards them? And then do they dampen...
And I suppose one game against the second best team in the league is not a good sample size.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy for him to score once or twice before it's like they got to get on the radar. They got to get on the radar first before they get in. They got to be in the departure lounge.
I like it.
Before they get on the flight. My second striker, and this is probably a bit of like, don't think, just pick. Beto. And I'm like.
I was going to drop some news on you if you want to hear it.
What?
The pre-season game, Moyes was not happy with him.
Oh no, he called him out, but I think that's because he said basically we need better from him.
Yeah, but they've got Barry from EastEnders.
Oh yeah, exactly. So
no, does that not worry you though? The Barry signing?
No, not really.
You think Beto's still main
because
man and still?
But like when we have a look at him last year,
I thought he was brilliant. Yeah,
how he plays.
I thought he was going to be 6.5.
Yeah, like I think that is ultimate value for his price point.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting this guy to score 20 a season.
No.
And he could find himself on the bench some weeks, but Leeds away, opening game, a revitalised midfield, people swinging the ball into the box.
I will say as well that it's not going to be our main 2 centre backs, Rodon and Bijol. It's going to be Strike there, and I really don't rate Strike. I think he could get a Strike. Rodon, I back Rodon. I think he's a good defender. But there is scope there, especially with our fullbacks. If he's going to play the same as the Championship, which he probably will with his style of play, our fullbacks are going to be high. He could get. He could. I don't expect Leeds to keep a clean sheet in the opening game.
Yeah. So I'm thinking.
I don't expect us to win 2-1.
Because even Dewsbury Hall, I need to change him for a Dwight McNeil.
So you play Dewsbury Hall and Better first game week with Leeds?
I'd be looking to do that. Yeah, I'd feel more comfortable with that, and I could drop when I said about like Richards and Van der Ven, for example. Or Collins, because Notts Forest at home.
It's a Monday night game as well.
Yeah, so I'd be
players Monday night.
I'd be comfortable doing a lot of different things. So Beto's my second striker.
I'd look at him. I think the things that put me off is I'd have 2 Everton in Tarkowski and Beto away at Leeds, and not really fill me. And I just don't know how this Barry. I don't know how if he's gonna.
Yeah, if he is, but like that again, similar with Sesko.
Yeah, that he's the guy.
He got to do it before he does it. Do you know what I mean? So that's.
Should we go on to my striker?
Yeah, go on.
So he talks about shiny new toys and Sesko.
Oh yeah, there was something. Yeah,
okay. TK.
That is because of his goal in the...
He looked good, didn't he?
Oh, mate, 6'4" and moves like that. He moves like a werewolf.
Wow.
Like,
although, could he be a Darwin Nunes with the misses? Could he be a Darwin Nunes 2.0?
no, but you said this, and the bit I...
He didn't. They weren't sitters, were they?
No, but I think Darwin Nunes, God rest his soul,
erasing from your fucking memory.
was an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
But like as a fan, that was brilliant to watch because when we used to have Suarez, he used to have that like, I don't know if you remember that like shin dribble and bounce off people and somehow come away with the ball.
Yeah.
Nunes, I remember like, who did he come on against? Was it? It was Newcastle was the one, wasn't it? And then it was Brentford was the other. One when
Brentford,
we went
where you scored 2 late goals, wasn't it?
Exactly. And there was just moments of brilliance, and I was just like, oh, I'm in for that. Ekitike, I think, is a more consistent player.
Yeah.
And I think with Liverpool's structure now and ball retention, we've seen what he can do in a tight space. And I'm not saying like that goal is, a wonderful thing and it's up for Puskas, but he's taken a ball, has absolutely zipped into him, taken it on the back foot, turned and slotted. Well, and it was just as easy as that.
Yeah. And the thing that got me, I think, was that Liverpool, I know he changed the structure of the team when he took him off.
Yeah. They looked worse without him,
terrible without it. Like,
agreed.
he looked like he'd been there years, and he looked like what Salah should be doing.
Yeah.
He looked like he was the man, like, I'm going to take this game, I'm going to win this game from minute 1.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, like...
And it's an exciting pick.
Yeah. What's his price point?
8.5.
Yeah, so it's towards the more premium end.
Definitely.
I definitely think, like, you've got him, whatever. I think some notable mentions, which I think could creep into my team. Ollie Watkins. He had an absolutely, like, unreal
he did make it into one of
pre-season.
my drafts, and
I've had him in, but there's just something not sexy about him. Do you know what I mean? And I hate the fact that he always takes up a position on the left wing because he used to be a winger.
Well, I think because of the gem that we think we found in Marlon, I think that we're just like, we're not going to double up on Villa and attack.
Yeah, so
because they're weaker than last year, so why don't we just go for that?
Yeah.
But so when I was saying about your Salah pick earlier, and putting money in, because I was just thinking along the lines of like, you could take out Salah and Beto, and have Wirtz and Ekitike.
Yeah.
And I just like, is that better?
Is it Beto? That's what I was.
Well, no, I'd prefer you to take out Dewsbury and Beto. I'd like the Beto pick more than him, but obviously that's 2 midfielders.
Yeah. I understand, and I think, like, again, I'm not like pot committed to Salah, and if I move from Salah, all of a sudden I got a chunk of change that I could spread in 1, 2, 3 directions, as opposed to if I'm locked in at other price points and everyone else's, it gets a bit harder. And also, like, Simo, like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is an established FPL asset.
Yes. Whereas I'm like, I'm back in.
Yeah, like I get that, and I want them to do that well.
Yeah.
But I just think, like, I'm not going to put myself in a position or into a hole where I can't quickly manoeuvre out of.
Yeah.
And then again, but I think that leads us on to the striker where we both got is Haaland.
Yeah, I looked when I saw it on the screen of you having him and Salah, I was like, it doesn't really look like it's hurt the rest of your team that much. And I'm like, how? Like,
yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking is if I can maximise the best assets in the game and have them both. My biggest headache.
Captain's it.
Yeah.
But that's what people say, don't they? They're like, what's the point of having them both when you're only the captain one?
Yeah. So I think is that ownership thing.
Yeah.
I think Haaland. I think Wolves are going to be not good this year.
I think everyone was blind on Haaland up until like I've seen him in a lot more drafts recently.
Well, you were triple captain Gameweek 2 last year, didn't you?
Yeah, against Ipswich.
Yeah, you got a hat-trick. Yeah. I remember it because we were at football. You were like giving me
shouting on from side.
So yeah, like there's a bit of that as well. But you know, if Isak comes to Liverpool, I would not put the house on him, but like again, he'd be one that's on the radar. He'd have to come in and do well. But this is like, we're talking about this. So these are our teams now at 17:34 on the Wednesday.
Oh, I know.
It'll be quite funny to see like what our teams look like just before the
I
game.
know, I've got like just this quick scan through. I'm like not sold on Juve.
Yeah.
Juve, like there's could be
shiny new toys in grand.
There is a lot of. I've just noticed that actually.
Kuiper, Juve, Verts, Reinders, Ekatike.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that is Statch.
Yeah, it's Statch. Yeah, like
I think I'm gonna have to doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would describe it as like these are the teams, rightly or wrongly, or the players in teams that have probably been through a couple of cycles of a Premier League season.
Yeah.
And I
like
feel
it.
more comfortable
I do
like
with that.
But there are holes in this as well. Like I can't pretend this is the best team in the world.
With the Haaland thing.
Yeah.
Like I thought people were sleeping on. The guy scored 85 goals in 3 years.
Yeah.
Was he still third top scorer last season?
Yeah, like but he went to a point and then just fizzled, didn't he?
And he was out injured as well. I just think
a fit Haaland is a problem.
And people say they're like, we haven't got Kevin De Bruyne this year, but Kevin De Bruyne was coming towards the end of his career,
and I think that was
he wasn't the one assisting Haaland. It was when Foden was on fire that Haaland was getting his best work.
I think that was more of a problem for City as well, because if you've got a player of the likes of Kevin De Bruyne that's aging, you feel almost like forced to play him, and you sacrifice what you have in athleticism and swashbuckling football, should we say, for more quality of delivery and passing and all that sort of stuff. But
I will say people think City are going to be back and that they're going to finish third, right? Hot take. I think Chelsea will finish third and Man City will finish fourth.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think that.
So you think it's going to be Arsenal, Liverpool 1 and 2, or
whoever? It'll be Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City.
I see. Now I think Arsenal could regress again.
Oh really?
Yeah, because like they're pinning all their hopes now on Gyökeres.
What's that Madueke signing as well?
Well, it's just wingers, isn't it? And they say, European and all that shite. But a stat for you: can you name the last 4 strikers? 4? Or the last 3 strikers that came from the Portuguese league?
Nunes.
So Nunes was one of them. Scored like a ton. Before him, I don't know if you remember a Leicester striker called
Slimani.
Israel.
Algerian, wasn't it?
Israel Slimani. For Leicester.
Yeah, keep going. We'll give me a clue of who the.
I can't remember the other one. But then we've got Gyökeres, who's doing it. And we said all of his goals are like in transition, which is just bollocks for it's counter attack.
Yeah.
And he scored pens. Yeah. So there's a lot of weighted there, but you're coming up against a hairy ass James Tarkowski that's going to be absolutely firing into you.
Yeah.
Gyökeres is a problem, don't get me wrong, but does that level of Portuguese football translate?
And don't get me wrong, I know he was younger and everything.
His goals for against City were doing great.
But his Coventry goal, he didn't light up he didn't get Coventry, top goal. Swansea, he didn't get top goal scorer. He didn't light up the Championship. That's why he got a thingy move. So I'm not sold on him. Like you said, he could be another. But him, Sesko, the tall lads, And
I think, also to hammer home that point, I think we've seen a rise of Rice and a fall of Odegaard.
Yeah.
And equally with Saka, the foundations, there's some cracks in them where I don't think they're pinning all their hopes on it. I love their defence, don't get me wrong.
The defence, that's why I've gone the Raya pick.
But it's again of how do they start, and that's what's important to me is maybe not so much the team I have at the end of game week 1, it's the team I have at the end of game week 3.
Yeah. Where
that's where you can see the moving parts, and that's where form starts playing a part. So
just a quick question before we finish. I'm just looking at the team. Here's throwing one out to you. So I've got Raya and Murillo.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a case for Sells and Gabriel?
Yes.
As a better
because
Gabriel's got a better
route to a clean sheet.
Gabriel's going to have a better attacking output as well than Murillo. I think I need to have a look at his DEFCON points though, because that's where I've got Murillo from in it.
You've got to think that Gabriel and Saliba are in a team where DEFCON isn't going to be as important. So clearances, blocked, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Forest, they were a good defensive unit because they had good defenders as well. I'm not saying they're not, but it's like when you say about like a good player in a bad team does more than a good player in a good team was because they don't have to.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's a bit of that. But it's route to points. Like that's what I always go for. Is like what is the quickest route to points here? And are you chasing upside with a pick, or are you going safe? Like that's a big thing. And
I suppose if you are taking risks though, is this the time to do it early doors, or can you fall too far behind?
No, I don't think you can ever lose your mini league in game week 1.
That's what I mean. Is
but you can certainly
make it harder for yourself.
Yeah, you can certainly get into a hole which is harder to climb out of. And historically for me is seeing how the season sort of shakes out before that first wild card. But then I think like with these wild cards now, is there a less of a risk in terms of like what you can go for?
Should we go on? Should we just touch on the chips before we finish?
Yeah, go on.
Like, what's my view on it? I don't like this. I don't like it.
I think
get it to make it more fun and all that, but I loved the bit for me that got me. I think it was being pushed into being
strategic to make decisions based around your chips.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being like, right, I'm not going to tell a -4 because it's only a 1 week punt, whereas like people could now take it because they've got so many more chips in the bank. Yeah. I just feel like for people that proper put their head into it and like think about it, it's kind of. And
I think like a big thing that we've always talked about is the bit where you get huge value is not running up to a game week and going, oh, I got to get 4 people in, is having the foresight weeks before to go, I'm going to put this guy in, even though this guy is firing, I'm going to go with this other option because I know I'm going to have more players and get more points over the course of 4 weeks than I am 2 weeks.
And I think there was... I loved it last year when we were coming to a deadline. I think it was City versus Southampton. Yeah. And people were like ripping up the teams, being like going Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne in, and De Bruyne was on the bench, or Haaland was on the bench, or something like that. And
no, I think I brought De Bruyne in and he only got an assist and he came off the bench. Yeah. But I was like, oh my God, I've literally got to do it. And I think reading here now is about the bench boost. Like loads of people are going early. And I'm thinking... I've never been a manager, and like we had like different opinions on this last year of if I can get longer in the season with chips in my back pocket and maintain pace or keep up or even be ahead.
Well, you had it last game, didn't you? You were able to triple captain.
Yeah. So I was able to benefit in those last game weeks where I need that boost as opposed to getting ahead. I'd always back myself to catch up than lead from the front because
that's the thing with this chip. I was like, do I then choose game 1? And then I thought, well, why don't I wait until I have more? So everything's new. Going into a new season, like before last year, that Forest fixture for anyone would be a green. It'd be number 2. Everyone would have targeted, right, Spurs have got Forest at home first game. Let's get on Spurs assets. Whereas this year...
Willy Bowley at the back.
But this year, like obviously Forest isn't a 2 fixture. So like teams are going to... You never know, like Sunderland, who you think's a 2, might not be. It might be a tougher fixture. What I want to do, I want to leave myself the first couple of game weeks, get some information, get all the things, hit a wild card that allows me then to bench boost after my wild card.
That's I think that's good, but there's no like, you know, I could say, oh, that's wrong, and you could say, there's no way.
Oh yeah, if you want to bench boost, game along,
and like
you do you.
Yeah, you have fun with whatever you do. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of the first podcast of the season. Whatever you do, hope it goes well for you. There's loads of people in our FPL Roulette League now. I think we're over 30 strong. So there's prizes to play for. But yeah, best of luck. Any advice from you?
Anton Stach.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. See you next week. Ta-ra.